Hey there, my name's Anthony, and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of the Plastic IQ tool. So let's get started. Plastic IQ has 6 steps. The first 2 steps are entering your baseline data. Steps 3 through 5 are developing a new packaging strategy. In step 6, you can review your external scenarios and results. In step 1, you can select which plastic categories are in your current packaging portfolio. So everything from PET to PE monomaterial films and even multi-material blends. The categories on this page can easily be summarized from those also used by the World Wildlife Fund and the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Step 2, the materials that you select in step 1 will turn into columns. In these columns, you can enter your baseline data. So for example, you can enter what your plastic footprint is by entering your metric tons and your annual sales growth rate. Additionally, you can enter the recyclability based on APR compliance, as well as what your current percentage of non-fossil based virgin plastic content is. So that's bio-based content and recycled content. Over here on the right-hand side, you may notice that there's some metrics. These metrics are developed automatically based on the baseline data entered in the table to the left. So for example, you can see the source of packaging over time in this graph is mostly virgin plastic. That's from 2020 to 2030. And there's a little bit of recycled content and bio-based content based on this table down here. Additionally, you have some estimated annual metrics underneath there. So you have how much money is spent on packaging annually, where's that packaging coming from, how much waste is generated, that's landfill, incineration, or pollution. And finally, you have greenhouse gas emissions. And that's end-to-end life cycle emissions of packaging in CO2 equivalent in tons per year. This includes both the creation and disposal measurements. The final thing about estimated annual metrics is just the differences between these two bars. You have a grayish blue and you have this darker blue. So in this example, the gray represents 2020 and the blue represents 2030. In steps 3 through 5, the gray bar will represent your baseline data and the blue bar will represent your new strategy. And one final thing before we move on, you may notice these small question marks next to a lot of the content. You can click on these question marks to find more information and how it applies to the data. Step 3 is the first step in developing a new plastic strategy for your company. This step allows you to choose how much single-use plastic you want to reduce or switch to a reuse model. So you have the ability to eliminate a percentage of plastic items and minimize plastic per item. Additionally, you can create reuse models. The small calendar icon on the right-hand side allows you to set a target. So if you wanted to minimize plastic per item by 2025, you would simply enter 2025. You may have also noticed that the metrics continue to update on the right-hand side, as well as this new less packaging score. This is simply how your company's new strategy compares to best practice. Step 4, you'll have the opportunity to test better packaging measures. So you can choose to switch to non-plastic materials or more recyclable plastics. And you can also choose to change where your plastic's coming from. So for example, I've chosen to switch some of my PET bottles over to metal. I chose to enhance the recyclability by 30%, as well as use more mechanically recycled content. This overall will give me a better packaging score. And again, your better packaging score is simply your new strategy compared to the best practice. Finally, on step 5, you have the opportunity to invest in some system initiatives. Here you can invest money in collaborative actions such as reuse, design and innovation, collection and recycling, policy and advocacy, and recycled plastics and feedstock development. Up in the right corner, you have your Better System score, which is a comparison of voluntary contributions to the total cost that your company would pay in an EPR system. On step 6, you have the opportunity to review your new strategy. This will give you things like your circularity score to tell you how ambitious your strategy is, as well as your source of packaging over time graph, where your packaging will end up at its end of life, your estimated company cost breakdown, and then the external impacts of this strategy. Over here, you have an open scenario analysis button. This will show you how your company's metrics could change under different external scenarios. Over here on the bottom, you have the print button that will allow you to print this entire page. So now I've logged into the Pro version of Plastic IQ. The Pro version is free and available to anyone. You just have to sign up for it. So one of the benefits of the Pro version is the ability to save your data and create multiple strategies to compare. Also included in the Pro version is the ability to invite users to your company to collaborate on strategies. Need advice on implementing these solutions? Head up here to the right-hand corner and click on the question mark icon. Here you can find comprehensive information in the solutions database. You can also access our methodology document for details on Plastic IQ's calculations and assumptions. So that's going to do it for the Plastic IQ demonstration. If you have any questions, please reach out to info@plastiqiq.org. Thank you and have a lovely day.